It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Of course, you're still locked in. We are live. It's Expresso show, and we're choosing to spend it with you. Now, weekends are a little different under lockdown, of course. However, as restrictions ease, yes, there are a few more things to do locally to keep you entertained. Now, travel journalist Jared Ruttenberg, Jared CPT, joins us this morning to chat about how there is an easy solution to all of this, and it means getting creative, traveling locally, and exploring your own backyard. Jared, it's an absolute pleasure having you in the studio, man. How are you doing?
Good, thanks. Nice to see you.
It's been a while, eh?
It's been a while. In fact, last time we hung out, we dressed identically by mistake. So I had to tune this morning, make sure that we were wearing different clothes.
Check the wardrobe,
today.
and then you got the denim on. I see that. But man, we were hanging out in a time where things were good. We could travel, we could do anything. A little bit more of a challenge now. And obviously, currently in South Africa, what do you think the reason is, and why do you suggest that we promote traveling locally? What's the importance of it right now, and why is it important, especially when we're looking at all the domestic options that we do have?
Ronald, it's an excellent question. In South Africa, the tourism industry is key and central. I mean, let's put it down to numbers. Every year, 10 million international guests come and visit our country.
10 million?
That's not South Africans, 10 million. At the moment, that's been reduced to an absolute trickle. But the more important number that is 1.3 million jobs. So I'm one of 1.3 million people who depend on tourism to survive. And so I think one of the key reasons for us getting out there and exploring at the moment is to support all these people who are sitting here.
I couldn't agree with you more, and you're seeing the effects now, because it's not just the locations that are being affected, but like you mentioned, every element around that. So many of my friends are losing jobs, and I think there's an easy way to combat this right now, which what you're suggesting is, I mean, we're so spoiled for choice in South Africa right now that we can support our own system and our own economy and do something good. So, I mean, for you, what are some of the top reasons and benefits to travel locally right now? Obviously, prior years, our goals was always to go overseas, but what is it that's local for us that you really feel is that the necessity and that go-to?
Well, I think first and foremost is to support the industry, but secondly, we've got such a startling variety of experiences that are waiting here. Throughout the lockdown period, I was chatting with travel journalists from around the world, and they kept on saying to me, Jared, you guys in South Africa are absolutely spoilt. From the mountains to vineyards to the bush to deserts to mangrove swamps, we have absolutely everything waiting on our doorstep for us to see. I mean, just last week, it was probably a week ago, I was in the Kruger National Park at Lion Sands Private Game Reserve, and we had this incredible experience. I mean, the clip might come up on the screen, but essentially, in Kruger at the moment, there's extraordinary amounts of rain falling, and towards the end of our safari, we came across this little stream that had been created by the rain, and there was this cackle of about 12 hyenas that they were having a pool party. It was like summer to them. They were in and out of the pool. They were diving on each other. This was at night.
It's like a sundowner session with these jackals?
Hyenas.
Hyena, okay,
It was astounding. and all these experiences are just sitting here waiting on our doorstep for us to go out and see.
Literally, and I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, I go on your page on Instagram, Jared and CPT, and I'm like, there's so much beauty here. It looks like you are traveling overseas every time you go on a new adventure. And I mean, even just to boil it down to something as simple as Cape Town, spoiled for choice. And I mean, you OG in the game of traveling and doing all sorts of things in Cape Town. What would you then say? Let's be practical about this. Let's serve Mzansi here. What would you say are some of the top attractions and things to do right now in Cape Town?
Perfect. Well, I think you know me well enough to know that my number one recommendation is going to be the Constantia wine route.
Yes.
Not many people in South Africa know that the birthplace of wine in the Southern Hemisphere is literally in our back garden in Constantia. 20 minutes from the city. There's 10 wine estates waiting to be explored. So that's number one. Number two, and also you'll know this one, is Table Mountain. We've got this beautiful mountain waiting for us to explore on our doorstep. So I say to people, forget some of the usual routes, try something new, but of course keep it safe. So pop onto Facebook, research some of the hiking clubs that are out there. Trailblazers is one of those.
Yes!
And join the crews that go up every week and explore something new on the mountain.
I love that. Okay, so I'm sticking to this practicality, all right? So we've got the options now. We know where we can go. We need to travel in South Africa, obviously. What do you suggest is the best thing to pack for an adventure like this? Especially when it comes to a staycation and on a go away for the weekend. What are some of the essentials that I need to include?
Good question. You need to pack some versatile shoes.
Yeah.
So shoes that are going to be able to get wet, get out. You never know what you're going to expect. Also a rain jacket, so that's always a good thing. And then the camera, because you need to make sure you can document some of the journey. So
I like that. That's like your go-to guide. I mean, in your shoes, you could
Shoes
literally
and
be ready
camera.
for any adventure. The weather, it could be raining and then
Exactly.
snowy and then sunny the very same day. And then, of course, capturing all the magic just as you have, and then possibly even creating a budding young Jared in CPT. But man, I can't thank you enough for joining us this morning. Seeing all the magic that you have here has just been absolutely incredible. And of course, what better reason than to go and travel? And you guys should definitely get some inspiration by checking out Jared's Instagram page as well, because there's every reason to add so many options to your bucket list. But brother, thank you so much for being in studio, man.
it's always good to see you.
And I look into the next adventure that I can do with you as well.
Next week.
Deal. All right, guys. Well, to appreciate the beauty, of course, in our country, you can too. And we're encouraging you to explore everything in your backyard and enjoy not only the cultural, architectural, and natural highlights South Africa has to offer, but the many other things that we cannot take for granted in our foreign country.